Let's see. So she had been messaging the mom for months, telling her that she hated me and I was a horrible person. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Light on. So, girl best friend didn't have the hots for brother. She had the hots for OP's husband. And she's mad that even though OP's husband was socially awkward, that he got a girl, but it wasn't brother's best friend. Got it. Telling her that she hated me and I was a horrible person. My mother-in-law was believing everything. When that was found out, the brother ended the friendship. Also, because this girl wasn't taking no for an answer, he kept telling her that he didn't want to be more than friends, and she refused to accept it. Yeah, I could see that happening. Then comes Christmas. I decided to be the bigger person and spend it with them because this is my first holiday season with a significant other. They had gigs all throughout the holidays, so they were going up the coast and I decided to stay with them. Christmas went okay, but we were still told the same, act like you're not together at gigs. We, of course, don't listen. He and I decided to head to the gig early. This is my first birthday with a partner and I wanted some alone time with him. I bet you did. We get to the gig early enough to get dinner. We're having a really nice time until she shows up. She is furious that we drove separately. My car and the fuel I pay for. How dare I? And that we're acting crazy. It was at this time that my husband decided something. I have found out that even though it was his and his brother's band, his mom was controlling the set list, the songs played, and coming to every single gig. OP's husband decided to tell his dad either mom stops controlling the band and takes a step back, or he's out. The dad takes it well, but the brother does not. Standing there at a venue in public, my husband's brother starts to choke him, saying, "Fall back in line or I'll beat the shit out of you." That's not how we resolve problems. May be how it ends up, but that's not how we start to resolve problems. Let's not condone this. So after 25 years of abuse, my husband decided he's done and he left. He finishes out the gig, goes back to his parents' holiday house, and we pack our things at 3 a.m. to start the 4-hour drive home. I had known how abusive his mom was. She had thrown a pot at his head and created a hole in the hole. She had thrown a pot at his head and created a hole in the hole. Straight up what it says. Would squash any form of independence he tried to take, threw rocks at her husband's car, and would physically detain him when he would try to leave. Would also scream at them loud enough for the neighbors to hear. This on top of all the verbal abuse she gave. We get back, exhausted, move him out of his old home, but the messages start. It was mine and his fault that his brother choked him. It was my fault that they got into a fight. He and I have not been together long enough to justify me being involved. I have too many problems and issues of my own. I have all the characteristics that he told her he does not want in a partner. He never talked to her about what he wants. It was then that the dad gets back to their home and realized that I helped move my husband out. Yes. She finds this out and goes ballistic. Comparing me to a murderer and a drug dealer, she said, "Ask me about the guy I lived with before your dad. Like her, he claimed to be Christian, but he is the same as her. You can't save her from her past. There is a reason he is dead and I am alive." The fuck? Hold on. As mother-in-law told her son to ask her about the guy she lived with before his dad. Like her, he claimed that he was Christian, but he is the same as her. You can't save her from her past. There is a reason he is dead and I am alive. That is some cold ass shit. There's way more, but this post is already too long. Things progress until he tells her to leave him alone. He is done with her narcissistic behavior and abuse. If she comes by to my house, he will put a restraining order on her and then block her. Then she hunts down his pastor and starts calling him incessantly, telling him that he needs to convince my husband to leave me and come back. When that doesn't work, the pastor told her to calm down, take a step back, and let your son live his life. Good on you, pastor. She gets her friends to call the same pastor. We still have our moments. He hid in a dark closet his first few nights away because it felt safe. When dishes were being washed too loudly, he got scared because in his old home, dishes being washed loudly meant that she was in a bad mood. My dad offered him something and said, "That is what you do for family." My husband started sobbing because he wasn't used to that. There is so much more that she did, but this is already too long. He was the one who decided to walk away from them, but to her, I am the villain. I'm okay with that. I don't need to be liked by her. My husband is free of them and safe. That is all that matters. He told me that I'm the reason that he saw what true love looks like. I love him so much. TLDR on this, toxic mother-in-law tries to break us up. When his brother started choking him, it was somehow my fault. He decides on his own to go no contact, but that is my fault too. Husband is now thriving, being away from his abusive family. Next video will